Yo, yo ho. Where? There? That's it. Yo ho ho. It's me, Jake. I see you. Well, I don't know if I do see you because I don't see you, but I think you're there. I believe. I believe in you. I hope you believe in me. Here we are on a Friday.
Hello. How does that work?
Ready for fun. Oh, I'm not even sure what's happening down below here. Sue, Sister Sue is here. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's me. There I am. There I am. Dave, dude. And Sarah, greetings. Greetings to you. Laura, hello. 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 I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello. Hello, hello. Ed, hello. Yeah, greetings. Friday greetings. Got my Friday. Oh, that's backwards. I see what I've done wrong. I've neglected preparation. Let's get this squared away. Oh, here we go. I think now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's F Cancer Friday. Hi, everybody. Hello, Pick. Welcome, Keith. Greetings to you. You've been wanting to tell me season 2 of Beforeigners started. Yes, I checked that the other day and I saw it. I'm going to see if Lady Jerry wants to watch season 1 of Beforeigners because I would watch that again, and that would be fun. That would be fun. Although she's been pretty sleepy, Lady Jerry, the last couple of days, as you might guess when you finish your stem cell, aka bone marrow transplant. You might guess that you'd be a bit sleepy. So that's what's been going on there. It's been a long time that you made it here for the beginning of a show. Yeah, you made it in time for the F Cancer Friday show. Oh, yeah. Is anyone watching The Great, Keith? We've seen all 3 seasons of The Great, and it is great. Highly recommend. We will not, Rachel, have a Lady Jerry sighting today. She is pretty tired. We did have lunch together. She basically came downstairs for breakfast, went back upstairs, came downstairs for lunch, went back upstairs. And so she's pooped. If any of you are following our friend Christella on the social media, you might want to wish her well. She was going to be taping her new Netflix special tomorrow. Michael, greetings to you, sir, and Ouija. Happy Friday. Christella was supposed to be taping her new Netflix special tomorrow night here in Los Angeles, but sadly, I FaceTimed her yesterday because it was her birthday, and then today she said she tested positive, so they have to reschedule the taping. Matt Lombard, longtime fan from Wisconsin. We've got Matt. I've got a friend named Matt Lombard who lives 3 blocks from here, so I'm glad that you told me. He started watching Peep Show on my recommendation. Yeah, and I'm not positive we're still on board for Peep Show. I think Lady Jerry may have checked out, but it's the guy who did Succession did Peep Show before then. So. Scott Weston, hello. Trina Madison is watching. So, happy Friday. I am going to resume my happy hour with my friends behavior this afternoon, early evening. We're going to meet for our nachos and margaritas at the sidewalk outdoor, freezing our tits off restaurant. It's a bit, not freezing, but what is it, 49 outside? But it is a bit moist. It's a moist 49. It's not a dry 49, it's a moist 49 out there. And so I'm going to meet some friends and do that today, so I'm excited about that. Don't know if you heard or talked about it on the show, but did you all hear that all of SF Sketchfest was postponed? There was supposed to be Beth Stelling tonight to kick off. I didn't hear that, Ed, but I'm not surprised. I feel like there's a wave of that going around. Of course, the Chicago schools closed. We're still underway here in Santa Monica with the schools, but it's rough. Fanula stayed home today because she wasn't feeling so well. Not COVID, just had a headache. But she says the past few days this week, they started on Tuesday, and it's been 30-40% absentee rate. So it's pretty, it's going around. Sister Sue, you're saying Christelle's the fourth person this week that you know has tested positive for COVID. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Moist or lozenge? What's a worse word, David? That is a good question. That's the kind of questions that I've been expecting to get asked my whole career. Moist or lozenge? Which is a worse word? Well, they're both kind of fun to say. Moist. It's almost over too soon, moist, whereas lozenge, it kind of lingers and water falls out. I think if you, like Lady Jerry, had a little bit of a facial nerve palsy, lozenge would be a difficult one because you might begin to drool a bit. Trina says moist. Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with moist because it can be used to describe some sex. It's not a sexy word. Moist is not a sexy word. A lot of people think it is. I think it's not. I don't think you should ever say moist. In the if anyone's got their pants off, don't say moist, please. Or if anybody's about to take their pants off, don't say moist. Say lozenge. Could I have a lozenge? I feel like things are about to get started. I'd like to have a lozenge before we get going, if that's all right. I think that's a good way to go, but don't say moist. In my experience, it puts the ladies off. But it's been a while since I've had that. Uma, you're picking up curbside groceries since Keys and you are quarantining voluntarily. Well, good for you. I've been thinking about you. I've been missing you lately. Oh, when you said picking up, I wish I was picking something up. I ordered I ordered something to be delivered today by UPS, and I went out to see if the box had come, and the UPS guy had put a sticker on the gate. So there's a gate, and then our house door is, 40 feet inside the gate. And I guess he just knocked on the gate. Nobody answered. So he said, you weren't here. I'll try again. You have to sign for it. And so I left a note for when he comes back. You got to go through to the front door. I was here the whole time. Frustrating. So I would like to be going to pick some things up. Todd, you finally had rain after the snow and much dog poop was revealed. Well, let me tell you something. We had a lot of rain after no rain. And a lot of dog poop was revealed because the dog poop gets washed by the street sweeper into the gutter, and then when it rains, all the water in the gutters flows out to the ocean. So that's why you don't go swimming right after the rain in Los Angeles, because it's a dog poop martini. Nobody orders that. We took it off the menu. Nobody orders the dog poop martini. But that's what the ocean is like for a couple days after the rain, so don't go in there. Not to mention there's some homeless... I don't want to even say it, but anyway, there's needles, there's motor oil, all the things are in there. You saw Stelling with Jake there in Austin, and she's hilarious. Did you? I've got to remember who Beth Stelling is. My brain is all locked up. Lozenge or leisure? Lozenge or leisure? Well, during my leisure hour, leisure is a tough one. No, it's out. During my leisure time, I often have a lozenge in order to relax. Your wife's class ed first grade has returned in person, but only 2 kids haven't returned. Well, some parents are scared, and some anyway, it's tricky. You can't get tested even though you thought you were at death's door yesterday. Uma, yeah, it's weird. You're in Texas, so Texas plays by a different world. My understanding is you don't have COVID there, or whatever the COVID that you do have is not as bad. It's not as bad as the COVID that we have in California because we're closing down everything. But in Texas, do what you wanna. Get a haircut, smoke marijuana. Slacks are worse than moist. Oh, if you got moist slacks, you're in real trouble. Yeah, it's hard to continue with your leisure activities when your slacks are moist. Where are we here? Check out this lozenge, Ouija, loving it. Michael, greetings from Switzerland from Saturday the 8th. Yes, well, you're in the future. Happy day or night. But you're only ahead on date. Half of the Swiss population still believes that cheese fondue and schnapps are better to fight the pandemic than vaccination. Looks like Djokovic is Swiss. Well, let me tell you, I advocate vaccination, but I'm not opposed to a little cheese and schnapps. Just to be sure, you got to throw some fondue at the thing. And what goes better than fondue with fondue than schnapps? Sorry, the mouth is not completely. Well, I haven't really talked to too many people today. Okay. Oh, Dave, you're saying same where you are. Everyone there has the variants. Yeah, fine today. Well, Dave, you like moist slacks. Well, I know. Well, if you don't like moist slacks, kayaking is not for you because moist slacks are a side effect of kayaking. Todd, you're saying it's good and horrific advice. Well, I think so. I mean, I'm not against vaccination. I'm just saying, try cheese fondue as well. How's the body a few nights out from the big bike crash? Carl, thank you for asking. You know what? Unbelievably good. I don't even notice it. The next day, the day after, my wrist was a little funky, but I've got good. This was the wrist that got hurt. I've got good movement. I'm not feeling stiff or sore. It's pretty unbelievable. Like I say, I wish I had some video of that crash because I can't believe I'm a 61-year-old man. I'm not supposed to be going flying off of bicycles, but there you go. I did it, and I lived to tell the tale. Not just tell the tale. I've retold that tale. I've told it and I've retold it. I have not told it over a nice pot of hot cheese fondue though, and that's what I'm looking forward to. 2022. I'm having fondue in 2022. Before this year is out, I'm having not all the fondues. The hot oil fondue with the meat, I don't think I'm going to do that, but I may see about some cheese fondue. I might have to get a fondue set, and that's a bummer. Mark Jaffe's watching. Mark, I owe you a phone call. I do know that. It's been pretty full on right now. Ouija, by the way, drinks are on Jen. She just won $1,000. Yes, I know. I saw that in the chat group. Jen won $1,000 off of a joke contest that she entered, and then I noticed her having a conversation in there with I think it was Ed that she doesn't even know what the joke was. That's sad. Ed, you're saying lucky so far. No one in your immediate circles, family members, neighbors on your street, coworkers has COVID at the moment. Yeah, I'm probably going to get it because I FaceTimed with Christella yesterday, so I'm probably going to. That's how contagious this variant is. The next variant is so contagious that it turns out we've already had it. That's how contagious the next variant is. We've already had it, so that's good news and bad news. So we will have had the antibodies sometime after that. Dave, you're saying for a joke that she plagiarized? Well, are there new jokes, or are there just new joke writers? Oh, well, I made a thing happen where the comments are coming up. Oh no, that's what happened. Something else happened. How's the new stove working out? Yes, in Texas they call cheese queso. Yeah, sorry if I needed to fix that. Uma, you knew what I meant. The new stove is working out pretty good. Induction jealous / Ed. The new stove is working out pretty good. It's a little judgmental about whether or not it likes the pots, because it only works with pots that have a magnetic, that are iron, that have enough iron in them that a magnet will be attracted to them. And so we've got a cast iron Le Creuset fry pan, and not half the time, but I would say a third of the time or 25% of the time, you put that fry pan on the big burner and you turn it on, and it makes a little noise like, that's not a pot that I like. And then you turn it off and then turn it on again, and it's like, okay, I get it. Sorry, my bad. So that's a little bit of a problem, but we are loving the induction stove. The speed that it changes temperatures and the speed that it goes from 0 to boiling is pretty amazing. So I have to say, thumbs up on the induction. So we haven't got our first electric bill yet, so I'll be interested to see how this stove boosts our electric bill, if it does at all. Well, it has to, because it's using electricity for cooking that we were previously using gas for. Trina, you're saying you need to put cheese chunks into a fondue pot. Makes it more like a meal. Yeah, well, Trina, the cheese fondue is like you put the cheese in, it's all melted cheese, and then you have chunks of bread that you put on the forks, and you dip the bread into the cheese. It's super healthy. I think in the 80s we went off the cheese fondue because we were all concerned about fat in our diets and cholesterol, and that turns out to be a lot of horse crap because now we're all on the keto diet where we're only eating fats and protein and we're not having. But you're in trouble either way with the cheese fondue because you got the fat and the cheese and then the carbs and the bread. So I say when you're having cheese fondue, you're basically marching to your own drummer. And so enjoy it. Omer, you're saying, is the stove a Lacanche? No, it's an LG. I don't know what a Lacanche is. Is that a brand of stove? I think, or maybe it is a Lacanche. I don't know. Ed, yes, it is weird regarding cast iron, and I don't think it's the cast iron. I think it's because there's an enamel coating on the bottom of the cast iron, and because we had been using it on a gas stove, there's a kind of a sooty, not thick, but there's a little bit of a blackness on the bottom of the pot. And maybe we have to scrub it down. Dave, you're saying your $1,000 electric bill bid is one of your favorites. Yeah, well, I may be headed back to that, Dave, and this time it may be justified. And in fact, I had to actually pay that $1,000 electric bill. I could never figure out why it was, but they insisted that I pay it. I put me on a time plan. It's so long ago, but I took the loss on that. Sadly, it was really weird. Brad, you want the induction stove to justify the physics classes you took in college? Well, by all means, I encourage that. The induction stove runs on 220 though, so you might have to put it wherever you got your dryer, unless you want to rewire the kitchen. Scott, you're saying the fondue sets for Namibia skit is replaying in your head right now. I don't remember that. Rachel, you're just displaced from your home for the next month? Smoke mitigation, and the stove there has a burner marked turbo boil. Wow, it's very exciting. So you've got an induction stove there. Well, that's good. Exciting for you, I think. Turbo boil. Man. English people must love that. They love to boil their food. You think it was the hair dryers, Dave? The $1,000 electric bill? Could have been the hair dryers, yeah. Have I ever gone to La Fondue Bourguignon? No, I haven't, but I want to. I think I want to. Ed, you're saying it might be time to pull the trigger on the solar panels. Well, in the past, when I've had the solar panel guys out, they've told me that our roof has too much shade, although our neighbor put them on his house and he's got more shade by my estimation than we do. So they may have had may have made some strides in solar panels that make, but please don't tell Lady Jerry. I can't, I still got to get rid of the gas stove before I do any solar panels. Scott, 220 costs less than 110 on your bill. Okay, well, there you go.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri thought I was talking to her. Who asked her? Who brought her to this party? Rich Chooch, you're here. Sorry you're late. Happy hump day. Yes, well, it's not hump day. With solar, the sun would dim when he turned on the stove. Ouija, that's a good one. You and Jen ought to get together and do a little collaboration. Dave is questioning whether solar really, or 220 does cost less than 110 per time used. I don't know. That was when I was in engineering school. Is it possible to have a crawfish turbo boil? I think so. It's hump day in Switzerland. There you go. I got a little confused there for a second. Dave liked the crawfish turbo boil. I would like to go to a crawfish boil. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to go back to New Orleans. And now I'm starting to fear that they might cancel that. Although I keep hearing that the Omicron is actually less deadly than the last variant. So maybe it's just going to get to be where we've all got COVID, but you just cough once into your elbow, and then you're fine. That's the variant. When that's the variant that comes along, that's the one I'm going to get. Well, it's not time. I could ask myself a question from the traveling question box. Here we go. How many national monuments have you seen? You know what? That's a tricky one because I've been to Washington D.C. a bunch of times. I've seen a crap ton of national monuments. Why would you ask a question like that? That question seems. I don't even think I could define it. Rich, you're thinking of going. Favorite restaurant in Nola, Matt? You're asking. That is a good question. I definitely love going to Elizabeth's in the Bywater for breakfast. It's not my favorite restaurant, but it's my favorite one of my favorite things to do is go to Elizabeth's restaurant for breakfast. And the food is really good, really good, really very good. What other restaurants do I like? Well, Coop's on Decatur. I love the food there. It's a kind of a divey. It doesn't look like it's going to be great, but the food there is delicious. And somebody wrote it up in some food blog or something, so it's always you have to wait to get in, but the food is pretty reasonably priced. On Frenchman Street, I enjoy a place called Adolfo's. It's upstairs from a tiny little bar called the Apple Barrel, and it's a tiny restaurant, Adolfo's, but the food there is good. But like I said, I haven't been back there since the pandemic, the Varinus, so I don't know if those places are there. I'm pretty sure they are, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's talk about next week. Next week I will be here on Tuesday, as usual, and hopefully Friday. But that's going to probably be it for next week because I've got a lot of preparation conference calls for this corporate gig that I've got coming up. So next Tuesday and next Friday. Ed, you used to love K. Paul's, went there on your honeymoon almost 40 years ago, but now it's closed. Yeah, well, if you want to talk about favorite restaurants that are closed in New Orleans, Uglisich's, and that's a family name, Uglisich's was one of my favorites, and just kind of down under the freeway on the other side of the Central Business District. Man, so good. I got both their cookbooks. Delicious. Scott, you're saying fish with ocean sauce. Cash only at Adolfo's. Yeah, you're right there. You're with me, Scott. Oh, man. I would do that right now if I could. I'd walk right off this show and go get that with you guys. If we could. Maybe we should have Jake Fest in New Orleans. I've had worse ideas. Todd, you're bringing Cobra Kai. You're binging Cobra Kai. I watched the first season of Cobra Kai and then kind of lost my footing a little bit on the second season, and now I think they're on the fourth or fifth season. And when I realized that was actually Ralph Macchio and actually the blonde guy who's really great in this, the guy who's the evil guy. I mean, just his character. So I get it, Dave. I get the binging Cobra Kai. I tried to get Belinda on board with Cobra Kai, and she was such a no-fly on that. So I started watching. What's the one that I started watching? I'm going to switch out of this app just to be able to tell you this. Of course, I've been watching. The Bob Newhart show. I have to say, the Mary Tyler Moore show. I don't know, but I've been watching Power on Hulu. Watched the first 2 episodes of Power on Hulu, and it's black drug dealer, nightclub owner, rich lifestyle. It's pretty awesome. But, it's not great art, but I have to say I'm enjoying it. Here. The New Orleans City Council voted unanimously Thursday evening to rename Robert E. Lee Boulevard for Alan Toussaint. Man, that is the kind of decision I endorse. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. I had the pleasure of seeing Alan Toussaint a few times on trips down to New Orleans, seeing him live, and amazing. What a great decision. I can't wait to go to Alan Toussaint Boulevard and Alan Toussaint Circle. Ouija, you're going to send me an email. Spoiler, you're not an African prince. I feel bad for you, but I'm not an African prince either. And so that's a tip-off that maybe you're not going to get that money. Ed, 4/5 of your family is now vegetarian. New Orleans is a bit tricky for vegetarians. Well, you might have to. I'm just listening to Anthony Bourdain's the book After Kitchen Confidential, where he's talking about traveling and being vegetarian. Being vegetarian is great, but I do feel like when you travel someplace and you want to eat somebody's delicious regional dish and it has meat on it, you should get a pass for that. And I don't want to get into an argument with you, Ed, because you got to do what you got to do. But I'm never going vegetarian. If I ever become a vegetarian when I'm in New Orleans, I'm not a vegetarian, and that's just how I got to do it. Laura, you've been watching Station 11, really good but scary because it's set after a pandemic. Yeah, I know that beginning of Station 11 is rough. I read the book, and I convinced Lady Jerry to watch it, so we watched the first 2 episodes, but it's, yeah, it's a bit rough. I don't want to spoil it for you, but keep watching till the end, is what I'd say. Did a quick rewatch of Avenue 5 on HBO, only 9 short episodes. Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's about. Scott, you've been overdoing Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton. California Water Wars season 3. Yeah, well, we didn't get to season 3. Belinda bailed somewhere a couple episodes into season 2, but we really did like season 1. Goliath, the hotel he lives in, the bar that he hangs out in, is right over here. I have walked there from my house. I can and I do walk there from my house. We tried Better Call Saul, Ed, and I think we watched the first season of that and then kind of fell off that. Toby, you highly suggest Letterkenny on Hulu. Well, I'll check it out, or Hulu, as I like to pronounce it. Well, yeah, I'm going to write that down, Letterkenny. Where do I write that down? Here, on this piece of paper. And then, Beforeigners. I have to, even though I'm the person who told you guys to watch it, I still will forget if I don't write it down. Rich, check out The Adventure, Identical Twins. One went vegan, one kept eating meat. Long story short, be an omnivore and eat in moderation. Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to do. But sometimes I omnivorously overdo it. Dope Sick on Hulu. Oh, Uma. I want to, but I've got enough sickness here in the house. Is The Sopranos any good? Dave. Come on. Moisten your pants and get with the crowd. What the hell's wrong with you? Is The Sopranos any good? Mr. Predicto. Is The Sopranos any good?
The answer is no.
Well, there you go. Mr. Predicto's been known to be wrong, and I think he's wrong about that one. But Mr. Predicto says it's not worth your time. So now what are you going to do? Now, what are you going to do? Well, I tell you what, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get ready to go happy hour with my friends. And Avenue 5 is a comedy set in space. I have seen that. Yes, Ed, I forgot what it was called. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed Avenue 5. Hugh Laurie. Yes, I enjoyed it. I don't know what I can't even remember all the things I've done. That's the age that I'm at. Could be the bike accident. I don't know. Scott Weston, you missed the last episode of The Sopranos. You don't know how it ended. Well, I watched the last episode of The Sopranos, and I don't know how it ended. All right, it's time for Seize the Day. It's time for Seize the Day, and let's get on with it. Today's Seize the Day is by Thomas Merton. Thomas Merton. The biggest human temptation is to settle for too little. And I think that's right. The biggest human temptation is to settle for too little. So don't settle for too little. You're all worth more than you think. I mean, most of you. Some of you think more of yourselves than you should. But for the most part, as a general rule of thumb, this is my thumb, thumbs up for you. And so increase your opinion of yourself. You're all great. Beartown on HBO was good. Okay, I'm writing it down, David. Beartown. I don't even know if that's... You might be making fun of me now. So I just did, now that you know that you're able to get me to write things down. So take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And, oh, you're saying Dexter and Arrested Development? Arrested Development I enjoyed, but then after I watched a couple, I think 2 seasons, I was like, I get what they're doing. It's still funny, but I just kind of fell off the bus. And Dexter, I think I watched 1.5 seasons and had that like, I get it. I see what you're doing. Have fun. Have fun killing. Have fun killing criminals. And I'll see you next week. Hey, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Let's be nice to a jerk, unless he's a serial killer, and then get the fuck out of there as fast as you can. And by all means, don't give up. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be as careful as you think is appropriate. And try not to get in any fights with any... Be nice to a jerk. Okay. See you next week.